Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic. I wish you all a very successful 2024 ahead. I hope all of you guys chase and achieve the goal that you guys may have. With that, let us get started with our day two of Terraform. Friends, what did we learn in the previous class? We've seen what is Terraform, what is infrastructure as a code, and we've also seen how to install Terraform in both Linux as well as in our Windows machines. Today is going to be an even more exciting day, and tomorrow is going to get even better, where we are going to do a kind of a mini project tomorrow. So let's get right into it and let's get going. I'm currently on my desktop. Let us go ahead and create a new folder instead of touching the existing. I'm going to call this test, and that's it. Let us go ahead and open up a Visual Studio. Open folder, test, done. Let us now go ahead and create a new file, and I'm going to call this main.tf. And in case if any of you do not remember what the HCL code that we've written in the previous class, worry not. We have provider AWS, and let us go with profile. I'm going to give default, and I would also want to provide my region. The region is going to be US East 1. All right, this is all done and dusted. The next is I need to go ahead and declare my resources. So here it is going to be AWS instance, and the calling name is simply going to be, I can give my name, you can give your name, do whatever. This is not, this is just a calling name. It is not for our reference. All right. And then I would want to go out and give the AMI details. I'm pretty sure you by now you know where our AMI details can be found. EC2 instance, launch an instance. This is where we should be able to view any of the AMI or Amazon machine image details that we would want. Now, let us go ahead and do instance type. The instance type that I want to give is t2.micro. Done. Today, let me go ahead and also pass our key details. You have two options here. First and foremost, you can go to your desktop, go to the place where your key pair is, and you can copy this, whatever the key pair name that you have given. If you, without the .pem extension, you just need the name of it. If you want to pull that information from your your console itself, it is EC2 in the dashboard. This is you are currently in EC2 dashboard, and in here we would see our key pairs. So there is only one key pair that I have. Let us go ahead and pass this value here. Once this is passed, you can also select count. In terms of how many instances do you want to create, I would want to go ahead and I would want Terraform to create 2 instances. Now that all of this is done, the next is I would want to go ahead and provide the tags. Tags is name is equal to, I'm going to call this TANC Krishna instance. Done. Control S, save it. Go to your terminal and let us try to execute this piece of content. What's the first command that we need to hit? Remember, this is a brand new folder and there is nothing inside of this. And the only file that we see here is main.tf. I've saved this content. You can do Control S or you can come here and click on save, either of the ways. And let us go ahead and do Terraform init. As I hit the commands here, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay particular concentration in the Explorer space. There will be multiple files which are going to be created. We are going to concentrate on these for the day. Let us go ahead and click, hit the enter, initializing the backend. So what is currently happening is an AWS executable file is currently being fetched. Finding the latest version of HashiCorp AWS provider, installing HashiCorp AWS version, blah, blah, blah. And this is where it is currently created. So if you see here, there are 2 files, there is one directory and then there is one file that is currently created here. In this, um, if I just hover on top of this, okay, the entire path is C users, OneDrive, desktop, test, Terraform, providers, blah, 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 blah. And in all of that content, there is this executable file, the AWS executable file. All right, perfect, done and dusted. And then there is this other file that is created. If you observe, which is Terraform log HCL. What does this do is, simply put, this is not going to allow multiple users to hit apply at once. So this is going to prevent it. And if you want to go ahead and view this, you can go back to your wherever you've created your directory. And in here, you would see your .terraform. So you need to enter multiple times, and that is where you would be able to see your executable file. So this entire path, .terraform, providers, registry, Terraform, IO, I'm just hovering over this. You can see the exact same thing. .terraform, providers, registry, Terraform, IO, HashiCorp, blah, blah, blah. All right, test. Okay. Now that we have now that we have initialized our um, Terraform, let us now go ahead and hit Terraform plan. Terraform plan is going to showcase what are the changes that are going to happen. Simply put, it is two um, to add, zero changes, zero to destroy. Okay, perfect. Now we can go ahead and hit Terraform apply. But before I hit the apply, you guys may have observed an extra file here which is no longer visible. We are going to discuss about it in just a short while, but whenever you hit Terraform plan, friends, you are going to see a new file that is going to be created, which is Terraform state file. And as soon as Terraform plan is executed, that will vanish. However, when you hit Terraform apply, once again, that file is going to be generated. And this time, this is going to be permanent. Enter the value. I'm going to say yes. And if you observe here, this Terraform .tf state, this file simply is going to have the entire information about the infrastructure that is created, which means, see here, there are two instances which are currently being created. Krishna test X, Krishna test Y. This is, let's say this is our first server, this is our second server. So all the server information is going to be in this file. We'll go ahead and access this in just a short while, but while creating, we won't be able to access it. So let us wait. And in the meanwhile, if you go back to your EC2 instances, we should be able to view all of this information. How? There are two instances which are currently running. Let me remove this as well. There are two instances which are currently running. And here, as it is that you can observe, two added, zero changed, zero destroyed. Two new instances are created with IDs E53, E53, and 773, 773. This is the beauty of Terraform. Just with a couple of clicks, you can go ahead and create any number of instances with whatever the configuration that you want. Okay, this is all great. However, there is one more command if you'd like. Terraform show. The Terraform show command and your Terraform dot or the state file is going to be pretty much similar. This is going to show you the entire details. Let's say, as an example, I have the AMI details AC91, which is our Amazon Linux 2023. Now, Terraform state, let me scroll down. If you observe here, we have AC91. Again, where can I validate that? Go to launch instance. And in here, we should be able to view, see, AC91, which is our Amazon Linux 2023. So this way, your Terraform state file is extremely critical. So if you lose this, you lose the entire accessibility or entire access to your infrastructure. So you may want to keep safeguard all of this information. That is nothing but a backup strategy. All right. Now, if I go ahead and edit my main file, instead of Krishna instance, let's say I'm going to call this Vivekananda, I'm going to do Control S. Then how can I go ahead and apply this? Do I have to give Terraform init again? No. Why? Because we already have the required plugins which are already downloaded. So we can directly go ahead and do Terraform apply. What do you think is going to happen? I have saved this file, Control S, and I have made a change to the name of my instance. I have changed the name of the instance from Krishna in hyphen instance to Vivekananda. What do you think is going to happen? Let us go ahead and check. But keep guessing in the meanwhile. Okay, refreshing state for both these IDs. Enter a value, yes. But what this is telling you is, hey, AWS instance is changing the name from Krishna instance to Vivekananda. Okay, is that what I want? I've already given a yes. So what it is currently doing is it has changed two instances. It is modifying two instances. Modification complete after just 4 seconds for both of these IDs, which is nothing but both these instances. Done. Both of these have changed successfully. I see a green. Let us go ahead and refresh. Concentrate here. The name has now been changed. The naming convention is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. However, if I have a use case where I need to go ahead and change the underlying software or underlying operating system, then what is going to happen? I've clicked on launch instance. You can select anything that you want. I'm randomly selecting RHEL, and this is its AMI. I will go ahead and give the AMI information. Instead of, I'm replacing the name as well as Kalam, and the count is going to be 1, Control S, or you can save it from here as well. And this is going to be saved. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, let us now go ahead and see what is going to happen when we hit Terraform apply. So every time when we hit Terraform apply, it is asking if you really want to do this, right? In the previous examples, we have seen yum install -y, which is going to automatically just install without asking for a confirmation. Similarly, here also we have -auto approve, which is nothing but yum install -y. Yum install is the command. Terraform apply is the command. Auto approve is similar to that of your -y function. So even if you have this, this is commented out thanks to this hashtag. So this is not going to be considered. Let me go ahead and hit the enter. Let us observe what is going to happen now. Refreshing state, okay. Destroying. As it is that you can see, both of these instances are going to be destroyed. New instances will be created because the underlying software itself it needs to be changed, and hence an entire infrastructure, a new infrastructure is going to be created. Still destroying after 20 seconds. And you see both of these just because there are two different instances. Let us wait until this is done and dusted. Okay. In the meanwhile, let me also discuss about the new file that has been created. A new file that has been created, which is, if you observe, Terraform state file with an extension of backup. Now, what does this mean? Friends, in the backup, you would see the AMI of Amazon Linux 2023. In the new file, you're going to see the information about RHEL. Can we go ahead and validate that? Yes, we can. We will go ahead and validate that. But before that, this has been successfully accomplished. if you see, there is only one resource with the new name Kalam, and two have been destroyed, which is Vivekananda. Let us go ahead and observe that. Vivekananda, both are terminated, and Kalam newly is created. So if you go ahead and observe 2679, if you want, you can go ahead and validate that. 2679 is what is currently created. That is the new piece of information. This is the new instance, whatever it is in the new state file. However, about the previous activities, it is all stored in your .backup file. This is an advantage. Now you may ask me a question, hey Krishna, how can we go ahead and save these both? It is going to be your responsibility to have a backup strategy where you can go ahead and create an S3 bucket, and you can enable versioning inside of it. And you should see a significant portion of whatever the backups that you want to create along with your existing files. All right. Now that we have discussed about all of this piece of information, what do you think is going to happen if the state file is not there, or it is corrupt, or the name has changed? I'm going to just show you with a name change. I'm going to call this blah blah, just for the sake of it. Um, like I've mentioned, this Terraform state file is going to host the entire information about your instances. It is going to have your ARN, AMI, your availability zone details, and any other information that you are going to pass, right? With that, if the name has now been changed, or let us assume that the file does not exist, then what is going to happen? If I go ahead and do Terraform show, what do you think is going to happen? There is absolutely no state for Terraform to do anything. It is simply telling you that, hey, I don't know what you're asking me because I don't see any state file. As simple as that. Perfect. Now, if you want to go ahead and do Terraform destroy, what is it going to destroy? Although a new state file is created, but it is not going to have any kind of information inside of it. It is just a plain blank one. And this has all the information, and as it is that you can see, the color coding has entirely changed. Terraform state file only has some basic information, and it does say that 0 destroyed. No changes, no object needs to be destroyed. Either you have not created any object yet, or the existing objects were already deleted outside of Terraform. Look at the beauty of Terraform. Awesome. If you want, you can go ahead and edit this, rename. I'm going to copy the entire thing, delete this, move to recycle bin. I'm going to rename, done. Now, if you want to go ahead and do Terraform destroy, yes, it will be destroyed. Refreshing the ID, okay, 2679, 2679, okay. Do I really want to go ahead and destroy this? Yes, I do want to. It is currently destroying, okay. Still destroying. Still destroying. Okay, everything has now been destroyed. But ladies and gentlemen, you may have had a question by now that, hey Krishna, every time it was only the first time that you have given a command called as Terraform init. Since then, you have only been either applying or showing, or doing a Terraform show command or Terraform destroy command. Why is it that you're not giving Terraform init command every time? The logic is pretty straightforward and simple, ladies and gentlemen. The provider that I have currently selected is AWS. The cloud service provider that I have chosen is AWS, and the provider AWS is successfully um, present already with the very first git init command. And hence, every time I don't have to necessarily give Terraform init command. Even if you go ahead and give this command, it is only going to say, hey, reusing previous version of the AWS from dependency log file. There is Terraform has been successfully initialized, but in general, we don't have to give this every time. However, let's say that I have a use case where it is not just the cloud service provider as AWS, rather I have a requirement where I need to push things to say GCP, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud. Then what am I supposed to do? In such situations, Google for your rescue. Terraform providers. That's the keyword that you are going to hit. And as it is that you can see, you have multiple providers. To be precise, we have 3,818 providers. You can go ahead and do whatever the activities that you want with other service providers. And in the background, what is going to happen is something called as application programming interface calls are going to happen. Now, what is API is not a part of our curriculum. You can simply go ahead and do a Google search or put it on YouTube, what is API, and you're going to see some beautiful content. But in general, what is happening in the background is our Terraform is talking to, let's say, AWS API, and this API is responsible for building whatever Terraform asks this API to go ahead and build. With that, let us move on to another topic. Friends, until now, if you've been following my classes diligently, you might have already guessed that, hey, Krishna, aren't we not, shouldn't we not be editing, rather, should we not be editing our main.tf file every time that there is a change or that when there is a minute change? The answer is absolutely, you're right. We are not supposed to be changing our main file itself. Then what are the other strategies that we have? This is where a concept called as variable comes into picture. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now go ahead and create a new file called as variables.tf. And I'm going to collapse this. We are going to do a side-by-side comparison. And ta-da! On to the right side, we have our variables.tf file, and this is our main file. However, ladies and gentlemen, please pay particular concentration to what I am currently about to do, because this is going to be important. Every time that I have to change my AMI details, or I want the underlying operating system to be changed, what am I supposed to do? I need to change my AMI. I don't want to change it in my main AMI, main file. Then in those situations, you can go ahead and declare your variables here. How can I go ahead and do that? I'm going to call this variable as AMI. Okay, this is what I need or require. In here, I'm going to select default as my AMI to be this, cut, paste. And here again, we need to go ahead and edit our AMI in such a way where it is calling the actual AMI or the variable AMI, which is an extension of this. var.ami, this is going to call this variables. How amazing is that, isn't it? Perfect. Similarly, let us go ahead. I'm going to simply copy that. Instead of AMI, let us now change the instance type. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to simply paste it here. Instance type default is, again, I am doing cut, and I'm going to do a paste here. This is not going to work. Okay. All right. Now this will work. Perfect. T2.micro is what I need, and the instance type. Now you tell me, what am I supposed to do? Take the example from here. See this, and what am I supposed to now do? Simply calling it as AMI instance type. The variable that we are currently declaring here is instance type. So done and dusted. Let us go ahead and copy this. Let me make one more change. If you would like, you can change the entire thing. There is no hard and fast rule about it. Even if you want to go ahead and change the key name, I'm going to change this, and I'm going to copy this. No, I'm going to cut that out, paste it here, and this I'm going to call as var key name. Control S, Control S. Done and dusted. Now let us go ahead and go to our new terminal. I don't need this, just using the previous session. Done. Now, if I go ahead and do Terraform apply, everything is going to be called from our variable, and this is going to be successfully executed. Enter a value, yes. Auto approve is also something that you can give. Okay. With a name Kalam, one instance is going to be created with the default AMI 7432. I'm guessing 7432 is RHEL. Let us see. Oh, yes, it is 7432. Yes, RHEL 7432. Perfect. An instance is going to be created with these values, and these are the variables from where this source is going to take the reference from. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you go ahead and declare your variables. That is all for the day. Tomorrow we'd be going ahead and building our own project, which is going to be even more fun. Stay tuned, more content is coming. So much so, I'm also planning to add some ethical hacking content, just for you not being a prey when you go to your corporate. Just some basics, nothing too fancy, or maybe you never know. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So do subscribe, do stick around, and do spread the word. All right, I will go ahead and destroy everything that is currently created. With that, adios, good day ahead, and have a wonderful and successful new year ahead.